Iga, sorry, you're on mute.
Thank you so much, Jeremiah. I'm excited for today's show. I actually even could not see, but anyway, thank you so much, and you are welcome to this week's episode of the Zambian Real Talk Show, brought to you by the Zambian Youth Platform, right here on these platforms on Facebook and YouTube. Remember that this show comes to you every Friday at 14 hours, and I'm your host for the week. My name is Iga Kapambwe from Zambian Youth Platform, and today I'm joined by young people who are very energetic and were part of one of the biggest events that are organized or put together by the Zambian Youth Platform with all of its partners that came on board and made it possible. I have Lumbe Jeremiah Mulanda, who is also a member of Zambian Youth Platform. He's a regular on the show. So for those of you that follow us every Friday, you probably know who Jeremiah is. And also Veronique from Adaptive Leadership Zambia, who was also a part of the RAHi 2023, is with us here this afternoon. And also we have Aida Mulala, who's also a part of the young people that greatly contributed to the happening of the RAHi 2023. And also, quite special young people are part of the show. Rebecca and Chimwemwe from Southern Province are joining us today as we are carrying on with the Real Talk Show. Super excited to be back. I think this is the first episode we are having since the RAHi 2023. And so if you've been following our page, you most likely know that this conversation that we are about to have today is the post RAHi 2023 discussion. Now, that tells you about how we are about to dig into what we were, having while we were experiencing the RAHi 2023. And I hope that if at all you were not a part of this program come 2024, you will be interested in coming through and also contributing to the happening of the RAHi 2023. Now remember, 2024 rather. Now remember that we are very much interested in you giving our comments. If you were a part of the RAHi 2023, we're expecting to see your comments in the chat box. Just do talk to us and let us know where you're watching us from. Without wasting any more time, allow me to bring in Rebecca and Chimwemwe. I will start with Rebecca just to look into how the RAHi looked to them as young people that were participating and traveled all the way from southern province of Zambia to come and attend the RAHi 2023 here in Lusaka at Mika Convention Center. Rebecca, hi, how are you? You're welcome, and please take us into how the experience was, being a part of the RAHi, and as a young person that is well invested in adolescent health. How was it?
Thank you very much, Iga. It was a very wonderful experience joining in the RAHi 2023, getting to learn new things, meeting new people from different countries. At least we had to learn a lot from them, from the minister and other people who are from high places. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. Before I move on to Chimwemwe, I'd like to know what some of your key takeaways were, or is it one? What key takeaway did you pick out from the RAHi itself? What stood out for you?
Okay, the thing that stood out for me was the part where the minister Esma Sebo had said, and I quote, we need to be voices to the voiceless, and we also need to be the driver to those who do not know the road, and we also need to be the right eyes. So that really stood out for me because us, the youth and the peer educators, are the voice to the voiceless, and we are also the driver that leads our fellow adolescents to the right direction, and the right eyes to the wrong eyes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. That is quite a big takeaway to actually go back with in Southern Province, and I hope that you're actually preaching that message to your fellow peer educators that could not make it to Lusaka for the RAHi 2023. Quite impressive, and thank you so much for sharing. I'll come to you, Chimwemwe. I'll ask you the same question I asked Rebecca. Your experience of traveling all the way from Southern Province to come to Lusaka and attend the RAHi at Mika Convention Center. How was it?
Okay, I would say it was very nice. Meeting new people with different experiences. talking about different types of topics and challenges that they face and how they overcome them in different parts of the country. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. And then your key takeaways. What are some of the things that really stood out for you? And I think for you, maybe I would like you to maybe even delve into where there's specific topics that you felt, wow, this is important, and I've learned something from this discussion or this conversation, and this has changed my perspective of how maybe I do advocacy or education on such a topic.
Okay. There is this discussion that we had of uh, the role of the traditional leaders, let me say, in adolescents, and also we talked to say the let me say religion teachers, the pastors, the clergies, they must be involved in issues to do with adolescents. They must be involved even in their highs, even coming next high. They must be even a youth pastor, even the traditional leaders. They must be there. So it's quite important because these people, they are the ones that deals with us adolescents in our communities. We go to churches. If at all we've got some challenges, we go to them. We tell them to say, "No, you are my pastor. You are my papa. You are my mama. Help me with this kind of issue." So they are also important when it comes to youth. Yes.
Thank you so much. I totally agree with you. The clergy, traditional leaders, these are key stakeholders that play a very vital role in the whole process that you undertake as peer educators. So, with the information that you were equipped with, in the during the RAHi, are there any specific changes that, or is there a specific approach that you believe you would like to take now that that conversation was had? How is it like now that you have gone back after having that discussion? How are you planning on engaging these pastors, the traditional leaders, you know parents? These are key stakeholders.
Yes, as in for me at a personal level, at me myself, the best thing that I can do to help even others who are there, we do have some youth groups. Maybe on Saturdays we do meet for some meetings as youths. There's such kind of groups in churches, so it would be best that I ask even for an opportunity for me to be given to teach my fellow youths on any topic to do with sexual reproductive health. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Rebecca and Chimwemwe. You guys are amazing. You guys are doing amazing things, and we're looking forward to having you at the RAHi 2024, which I believe should be getting bigger and better. We will be delving into the reason why I'm even saying it's getting bigger as the program goes on. So thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to hearing more from you concerning the RAHi.
Thank you
Thank you
very
very
much.
much.
Right. Thank you so much. So there you have it. That is Rebecca and Chimwemwe from Southern Province giving us just their experience of having traveled all the way from Southern Province to Lusaka and attend the RAHi 2023. And I think I'm pretty much inspired by a young person now looking forward to engaging and going, taking opportunities, even in the church, to talk about sexual reproductive health. So now we move on to Ida. You are a young person that was also a part of the RAHi, and why do you think it is important for young people? Because I was also a part of the RAHi. I was also a part of everything that transpired this year, and I can testify that this was a young people led innovation. Through and through, it was young people leading. And what do you think is the importance of young people being at the helm of putting such events together?
Thank you so much, Iga, and good afternoon to the audience. It's really important to allow young people to be at the center of such innovations and interventions. Why? Because it guarantees sustainability, it guarantees inclusivity and diversity of any intervention. And what I mean is, it means whatever intervention you come up with, as long as young people are involved, it will be sustained. at a point where you can even decide to say, no, we can't fund this innovation anymore. But young people will come together and say, you know what, through our own creative means and ways, we'll be able to sustain this for the future. Even if it's not funded by anybody, we as young people can fund it ourselves. And so it was great to see that at the RAHi, from organizing, planning, monitoring, evaluation, every single snippet of the RAHi was done by young people. It means even next year, when we are doing this intervention once again, we'll call upon young people. They'll be able to do it by themselves. Won't need an expert from somewhere else to come and handle anything. Young people showcase their capacity and their capability. And it was great to hear from the ED. He mentioned himself to say, looking at this year's show and event, I can firmly say that you guys are capable, and you've put up a great, innovative, and insightful show for everybody and for your fellow young people. And for me, that was a very good insight from the ZYPED. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Now, our online audience is contributing, and I can see Lawrence Muyunda saying, "Keep up the good work. Watching from Livingston." Lawrence's DP is actually a picture from the RAHi. Thank you so much. Victoria Nakanika says, "Welcome back, guys." Thank you so much, Victoria, for your support. And Muyambango is saying, "Keep up the good work. I'm also following from Joma, Southern Province." Thank you so much, Muyambango. All right, so there we have it. Blessings Favored Emmanuel is also saying, very impressive. All right, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you are staying with us all the way till the end. And Titamenji Munga is saying, viewing from Joma, Southern Province. All right, thank you so much. Good to know that Joma is tuned in. Real Roxon Jello is saying, very impressive. I'm watching you from Habigu in Chikati district. Thank you so much, Real, for joining us today. Um, I want to move to you, Veronique, and just maybe ask what role you were playing during the RAHi 2023.
Thank you so much, Iga. Thank you to everyone that's made time to watch this postmortem meeting. For me, it's amazing because it comes at a time when actually today we are celebrating the Day of an African Child. And just to be able to have young people share like this is amazing for me, because it's not what we have seen. Given a platform such as the RAHi, it's such a great privilege. And personally, I was managing the event. Like Ida spoke about how the event was young people led. You could have seen how just young people were in it, giving their all to just make sure that the event is running on course and bringing out such diverse views. And me being a partner coming from Adaptive Leadership Zambia, I really saw how this was just a platform to lay it down for young people to showcase what they've been talking about, especially when there's been a cry for meaningful participation, youthful participation. And so RAHi was just there to showcase what this was all about. I'm so privileged that I was able to do protocol, and just seeing how partners were in it. The delegates that were involved poured out their hearts with their presentations, and really just coming out to be there for young people. I'm really praying, because I will share this as we go on in the program, but with my experience working with young people in the remote places, in the communities, I think that this platform has now given has set a bar for how it's supposed to be done. If we can decentralize this from health facilities, communities in the district, so that we can bring up um, the views that young people have. For example, Rebecca and Chimwemwe that are here today, just being able to hear them share how they'll go back to their communities and use this information. I feel so excited today to be part of this conversation. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Veronique. You have talked about, first of all, the partners and the people that were present, the stakeholders that were present, and one of the people that were present this year at the RAHi was Honorable Sylvia T. Masebo, the Minister of Health, and along with other partners, along with other people that were invested in the RAHi. What were some of the key points or the key pronouncements that were made by some of these stakeholders that we should be looking at and saying, okay, come this year, now that we are starting, this is what we are basing our planning on for the RAHi 2024?
Yeah, I think that the key most takeaway for me was when the minister did mention that we need to decentralize this. Like I said, that coming, next year and beyond, this endeavor should start to take place from the grassroots going up. I think that's why it's going to be very meaningful, because then you have a robust of views from young people that are not only feeding into the position paper, but they are present. And you could even see the inclusivity of the RAHi, because we had differently abled young people giving their views from diverse backgrounds. And so for me, that really excited me. Another great takeaway was from NAC and PEPFAR. So for PEPFAR, really, when they shared their presentation on how young people are lagging behind in the 95, 95, 95, we saw how young people just responded and gave their take in how they themselves want to be accountable in making sure that no one lags behind. And so moving forward, with all of that was shared from the partners, and then young people being able to be accountable, and also holding accountable the people that are giving pronouncements for the service provision. You can now see that there's really dialogue. And moving forward, I envisage a space where it would be so laid down, and we will have such meaningful conversations from all types of diverse areas. And I really love the fact that it is called a regional indaba, and seeing people from Eastern Africa just participating also made it have the weight. um, just having to see that it's not only Zambian young people that are going through different issues when it comes to health, but other people from outside Zambia were able to agree. And that consensus, for me, just shows that this is going to be very bigger and better. I'm hoping to see, different other line ministries join in, like the ED mentioned on the day we were closing. He really mentioned that we need to see a holistic kind of like approach, not only health ministers to show up, or those that are, have a say in health, but we want to see entrepreneurs, we want to see other line ministries coming in, because young people did say that it just doesn't end at health. Health has a very diverse aspect to it. And so there was entrepreneurship talked about, how young people want to be empowered. There was innovation. We'd like to see ministries that are aligned to innovative ideas that can identify such innovations from young people already at such platforms.
Right. So thank you so much, Veronique. I want to bring in Chibwemwe for a bit. I would like to ask, seeing that Veronique has just talked about the pronouncement that was made by the Honorable Minister, saying that there are high, or the adolescent, I mean, the health indabas are now going to be decentralized and sent into district. I should believe your peer educators who are working on the grassroots and actually seeing what is transpiring on the ground and working there. And how does it make you feel that there is this pronouncement of the indaba, being decentralized to your respective districts before we can all meet as a regional, adolescent health indaba?
Okay, it is a very great thing to have these endeavors brought in districts, because in districts we are a lot of people, and looking at it to say maybe in my district They only got maybe few people, 11 people, but we are a lot of youths. There are a lot of voices outside there that are there waiting to voice out, waiting to speak out with their minds, what they are having. Maybe, let me say, it is quite a very good thing. It is even interesting, and a lot of people will be interested to be part and parcel of this. RAHi, let me say, I don't know what I can call them, whether they are the highs or what.
The
Yes.
highs. Okay, thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Do you see? Is there any other problem that you feel if these endeavors were decentralized and brought into your specific districts? Is there any specific problem that you feel, oh, this is what these Dahais will be able to do, or what this is what we haven't been able to do with the Rahai, but if they're decentralized, we would be able to do if they're brought into the districts.
Thank you very much, Iga. Yes, because there are some problems which were not mentioned out there because we've got youths out there, we've got adolescents out there who wants to voice out, to speak out their views in relation with SRHR services. We've got people out there who don't know about their statuses. We've got people out there who are struggling with substance abuse. At least if the highs were to be brought out to our district, it would give them the courage to be accommodated and to speak out. Thank you.
Mhm. All right, thank you so much, Ida. I want to come back to you. um the entire aspect of this year's Rahai was about youth engagement, uh, innovations, and leadership, and that is the method that we're using to close the tap of new HIV infections. So, what are you making of meaningful youth engagement now, especially after the Rahai? How is it looking like to you?
For me, I have continued just as it was. When you look back at the Rahai, youth engagement was youths making decisions. We saw youths making decisions on no what presentation should be prioritized or who should be who should come to the Rahai, who should do a presentation, what is better. We saw young people evaluating, and for me, I've taken it back up on that, and I'm ensuring that young people are being involved, even taking back to just the community. Young people are being involved and also engaging to ensure that they go in the community and evaluate. They look at what does the community need. Does the community need to access all services at the health facility, or does the community need to access certain services at one-stop centers? And mostly we young people were being backstage in terms of decision making. But when you look at the Rahai, young people were the ones who are making the decisions. And looking back at it now, I'm seeing when we decentralized the Indaba to the Dahai, I'm seeing us continuing the youth engagement because youths now will be engaged even at a greater reach. Before we'd take it provincial and regional, and now we're taking the high. And I know Zambia has a lot of districts, and just that itself is pure evidence to say that young youths will continue to be engaged, and we'll see that in the going future or in the coming future, you'll see that or anything else having to do with the Rahai will be youth based. We had the junior mayor, the young lady that is the current Lusaka mayor. I'm looking forward to a time where we'll have the junior district health office director, where we know we have the district health office director, but with these engagements, I'm seeing a future where we'll now have the district health director being a junior, and they'll come through and they're involved in all aspects, and they'll come through to the Rahai or Dahai, and then they'll take the lead in everything. And so we'll see sustainability, we'll see community responsibility, community-led advocacies in terms of services and other interventions. We're going to see community-led and based research of all interventions that are related to health in terms of adolescent health, and also responsibility and ownership will be at the community. Why? Because young people are the community, and they are the ones who are facing these problems, and they are the ones who are now taking lead in finding solutions to these problems. And all these things have been achieved by engaging these young people, recognizing and understanding that these are important entities of a community and even the national development. And I like what ZYP has done to ensure that all things related to the endeavor are forecast and based on the opinions and also wants of the young people. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Ida. We look into our online audience for now. Hope Malambo is saying nice point, Ida. Right, thank you so much. We are still checking out comments on Facebook. Liko Mistrio Mitete is saying excellent, watching from Mitete. Right, thank you so much. Keep watching. Farai Magi Hachintu is saying watching you from Chikankata. So interesting. All right, thank you so much. Sydney Darian is saying watching it from Northern Province, Kasama. Thank you so much. I hope Kasama is well. Misela Havenzu is saying very impressive, watching you from Chikankata. Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate. Keep watching, and remember to like the page, share it. Make sure that at least your family and friends, also get to watch this important show that comes to you every Friday at exactly 14 hours. Now, Veronique, one of the things that were happening at the RAHi was the compiling of the position paper. We were putting together a document that is actually speaking into the views of young people concerning all of the topics that were addressed at the RAHi. So I know we can't get into everything and just look at the position paper because it's a handful. So
Yeah.
would you give us maybe just how an illustration of how the position paper is looking like? What are some of the key points that are in there, and what are some of the recommendations that were made by the young people?
Yeah, absolutely amazing process. I think for me, another highlight was how it was just handed over. And I am looking forward to not only just having that exciting moment of the handover and not having the response, because I think that the response to the position paper from the ministry and other stakeholders is then what is going to inform us to our next level of the RAHi. And so some of the exciting things that young people raised are that how they want to see the integration of mental health programming, especially in the community, into schools, and making sure that this is scaled up, because I think there's a neglect between SRHR and mental health, and we've seen that so many young people are making poor choices when it comes to their sexual reproductive health because of their mental state, and this really hasn't been addressed. And so there was a cry that they need to see certain programmings that are tailor-made to this. Also, the age of access, which has been really debatable. At least now we're talking about the age of access and not the age of consent. So for me, for the young people to bring it up again in the RAHi and making it a call to action is very urgent. And so hopefully that we can see the ministry responding in how we can come to agree on how young people can freely access information and generally health services that are free, because free is just another word you could use, but really young people are struggling to have access to services, in that they have to hide, they're still afraid of discrimination and professionalism, and all of these nitty gritties really need to be dealt with. One other aspect was on innovations. Young people really cried out to say they want platforms where if they raise innovative ideas, who is even looking, Ida was even just sharing right now that the RAHi was such a great platform um, for creativity to be identified. But also you'd notice that, well, certain stakeholders could have stayed away for one or two reasons, but we want to see, like I mentioned earlier, a holistic approach where such innovations are rightly on point identified, young people are funded to be able to take on certain projects. They did mention the CDF on how they want to see it working for the majority of young people, even in the rural areas. And so, yeah, in a nutshell, the position paper was so heavy, but like I said, I'm really looking forward to having responses. We've already seen a light because the Minister of Health already promised us that it will be bigger and better, meaning that we'll have great responses towards the call to action. And in terms of what young people want to see, the future they want to see, and the today they want to see, is that, look, Zambia is not only Lusaka. Like, we want to see a lot of young people engaged, like Rebecca and Chimwemwe, as far as, places like Lundazi, Chief Mugudu. I don't know, I've heard these names, but I don't even know where it is. But these young people don't have platforms like we do. So we want to see certain programmings on adolescent health reach them, so that we can have young people participate and generally, in the end, have lives preserved.
All right. Thank you so much, Veronique. I've gotten, I feel like I feel like being taken back to the RAHi episode. This is where we were saying RAHi Kuchalo, RAHi
I
Kuchalo.
really,
That stood out for me. I think the energy that everybody was putting in towards, just having those conversations carry on was amazing. Uh, Before we close, Ida is joined by two young people, Bearings Musaba and Cheswayo, who will give us just their experience within a minute each as we are wrapping up the show.
Hi everyone, my name is Bering Sumusaba. Yeah, just want to share my experience at the Bahai. Yeah, I love the fact that we were talking about leadership development and also meaningful ways that we can engage young people to help develop their leadership capacity. And then I also love the fact that young people were overall involved in the programming and also in the running of the actual programs, both at the RAHi and the Bahai. Yes, that was a great platform where we executed the leadership that we were actually talking about. Thank you so much, and hi to everyone once more.
Chefaya?
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to share my experience in Chongwe. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was really an eventful event. I loved the fact that a lot of young people were able to open up about what they are going through, because it's not really, that really never happens outside that space. And it was actually my first event, and I would actually attend more of them. So I hope you guys have more of those, like like a lot, not just once in a year, but maybe every month or something. I'll be doing that.
All right. I'll just encourage you for now. Keep watching the Real Talk Show every Friday at 14 hours on our Facebook page, the Zambian Youth Platform. All right. Thank you so much. Quite exciting reviews from everyone that's been a part of the show today. And we get to wrap it up from here. Remember that the Real Talk Show is now back full force every Friday at 14 hours. I've been your host. My name is Iga Kapambwe. And it's been nice talking about the RAHi 2023. I'm looking forward to what is coming as we move to 2024. In fact, even the rest of the year has got more coming. So do stay glued on our Facebook pages and look out for what is happening on Facebook. It's Zambian Youth Platform, YouTube, Zambian Youth Platform as well. Have a pleasant day and enjoy the rest of your weekend.